All right, here to do Supernatural season 9. Um, and as you can see by the season cover, um, Supernatural season 9. I think after season 5, a lot of these are kind of controversial. Once again, I think this season, a lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I was not a big fan of this season when I originally watched it. Now, the more I watch it, the more I like it. And um, it's not the best season by no means. It probably still is a little bit towards the bottom, even though it still is a good season. But basically, it is you're the brothers are dealing with all the angels that fell, and they're also dealing with Abaddon. Abaddon is trying to take over Hell, trying to push Crowley out of the way and become the queen of Hell. And Metatron is basically being the new god. And um, Sam at the beginning of the season, Sam is in a coma. For the He took a really big hit after going through the trials, and he's in a coma. And the beginning of the episode is in my time. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to like it here. Now a lot of this is going on in Sam's mind, and you get to see Bobby, which is nice, and you see Death. There is a angel that comes because Dean prays, and his name is Gadreel or Ezekiel. He has two different names, and he wants to help. He wants to help Dean, and the only way that he can help Sam is to possess Sam. And he Dean tricks Sam into saying yes because that's the only way that an angel can possess somebody is for permission. So the beginning of the season is Gadreel um, possessing Sam, and now he's not possessing him the whole time. He is It's still Sam, but every now and again Ezekiel or Gadreel will pop up, take over Sam's body, and have a little conversation with Dean. And Cass is no longer an angel. His grace got took out by Metatron because his grace was part of the spell, and so probably half the season, Castiel was actually a human. And so Sam and Dean are trying to find Castiel, and they also have Crowley as hostage. Uh, so that's really nice. And this is probably my favorite Crowley. Crowley, I love Crowley in this. He's probably the funniest in this season. He spends most of his time chained up, and he's actually got addicted to human blood because that was part of the trial. Was Sam putting his blood into Crowley to make him human. And so Crowley actually becomes addicted. He's a junkie for human blood. Um, Kevin is still on this season. Now, Kevin does die. Cadriel decides to work with Metatron because Metatron is offering, Cadriel to be his right hand and kind of bring the angels back into heaven. The angels have no wings in this season. That was something different, also. But Cadriel takes over Sam for good, and he kills Kevin. So that's a really sad scene. And they finally get Cadriel out of Sam, and then obviously there is a beef with the brothers. Like usual, they usually argue in just about every season. And Dean comes to the realization that him and Sam cannot work together because he feels like he's poisoned. Everybody that's around him dies, and that's a pretty decent argument. A lot of people that are around Dean or Sam they tend to die, and this really starts the Mark of Cain era in this season. Um, Crowley and Dean start working together to find a blade that can kill Abaddon. So they go to Cain, the Cain and Abel, and he is also a knight of hell, and he has a mark on his arm given by Lucifer, and the first blade and the mark work together. You cannot use the blade without the mark. So Cain gives the mark to Dean, and then Crowley has to go find the first blade because Cain threw it into the ocean, and that starts the Mark of Cain era in the show. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the idea of the season. I do like the finale. Metatron uh, kills Dean. I love the ending when Crowley is talking to Dean, where his corpse, and then Dean opens his eyes and he's black eyes. So Dean is now a demon. uh, Cass gets a grace back, not his. He actually takes it from another angel, and that's burning through him. And so it kind of had that Raphael feel from season 6, Cass against Raphael. But this one is Cass versus Metatron. So really, the arc of this season, the story is Crowley versus Abaddon, Cass versus Metatron, and Sam and Dean are kind of just in the middle. And every episodes kind of go through. Like one episode they're going after Abaddon, next episode they're going after Metatron. Now there are some cons. As much as I like Abaddon and Metatron, once again, this is just something that Supernatural does. You don't see them enough. Now you see Abaddon right off the bat uh, in the season, and then she just kind of disappears until like the end of the season. Um, and by the way, her kill is awesome. When Dean kills her, that's probably the best kill in the whole franchise, in the whole series. And Metatron. Metatron started all of this with the Angels, and you don't see him till about the halfway point. Halfway. Halfway, 23 episodes, you don't see Metatron until the middle of the damn season. Once again, I wish you saw them more, but you don't. And um, Sam is okay in this season. He can be a little annoying in this one. Now I do like Dean in this one. I'm not a big fan of the Angels without wings. I really prefer them with wings. Um, they're, you know, and also this is kind of the start of when I stop liking Cass. I do not really like Cass from here on out. I still find him entertaining. I still like him. I just don't think he's nowhere near as what he was in the earlier seasons with him. Um, the Angels are really irrelevant at this point. They really are. They started becoming irrelevant, honestly, in season 7. Um, but the Angels just don't do anything anymore. They're really just there just to be there. They're not really powerful. They don't really do anything of really any kind of significance, which is disappointing, honestly. Um, and now there is some filler. There is some filler in this season, unfortunately, and it's bad filler. It really is. It's kind of like it's not as bad as season seven's filler, but it's still kind of bad filler, and there's still a little bit too much. Maybe not as much as season 7, but it's still a lot of filler, and it's bad filler except for a couple of episodes. Um, Charlie's in this season. Um, they don't really introduce a whole lot of new characters because a lot of these characters you saw in season 7 and 8. Um, but and I'm really glad I forgot to mention this on season 8. But this is when Bobby dies in season 7. I'm really glad that they keep Bobby around. They always have one episode per season after season 7, where it's a Bobby episode, and every one of those are really good. They are. um, but overall, guys, I do enjoy this season. I like Abaddon. A lot of people don't. Um, this isn't my favorite version of Metatron, but he's still decent. And I don't like Cass a whole lot in this season. I don't like the Angels without wings. The brothers are pretty nice. I do like Dean with the Mark of Cain. I think he's really badass. The finale is probably the finale is arguably one of the best finales. It really is. That last scene when Dean opens his eyes and he's got black eyes, that's a really surprising scene. And you really look forward to season 10. Now, season 10, I'll get into that. You probably tell by my reaction just then that I'm not the biggest fan of season 10, but I'll get into that in my next review. Overall, Really like season 9, guys. The more I watch it, the more I like it. I like the villains in this. Abaddon's one of my favorite villains. She's one of my favorite demons. Crowley's probably his best at this season. Cass is probably his worst in this season. Um, well, at least at this point. Really enjoyed the Cain stuff and the Mark of Cain. I really thought that was something new. Um, it was sad to see Kevin go, but overall, it is a good season, guys. Uh, it does have some filler in it, but maybe you guys like filler. I'm one of those that it worked in the earlier seasons, and I think it worked in season 6. But as a whole, uh, bad filler, guys. I think that the really bad filler really starts on season 7, and it really continues on after that. But overall, still like the season, guys. What did you guys think of Supernatural season 9? Did you think it was a step up or step down from season 8? Did you like the characters in the season? Did you enjoy the finale? Let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe.